All right, today we're jumping into a real giant of 20th century thought. We're talking about a mind that's so brilliant, but diving into his work, it can feel exhilarating for sure, but also, let's be real, pretty overwhelming.
You know that feeling when you find a writer and their ideas just grab you? They pull you right in, but the language they use feels like some kind of secret code you just can't crack? If you've ever felt that, you're not alone. It's a super common experience, and honestly, it's the perfect way to get into what we're talking about today.
I'm talking, of course, about Jacques Lacan. And if you've ever tried to read him, I bet these words right here look pretty familiar. It's like a whole different language. It feels like you're navigating this crazy labyrinth, and half the time you just end up with way more questions than when you started. And hey, if that's you, you're in very good company. This quote, it's pulled right from the introduction of the book we're going to be looking at. It just nails that feeling so many people have with Lacan. You're completely captivated, but at the same time, totally confounded. It's that mix of fascination and, yeah, just plain confusion. So that's the big challenge, right? How do you actually get past all that jargon to get to the genius underneath? How do you go from feeling confused to actually genuinely engaging with the ideas of one of the most important thinkers in psychoanalysis since Freud himself? Okay, so how do we solve this puzzle? If you want to get through this tricky intellectual landscape, what you really need is a map, a compass. And that is exactly what we're diving into today. It's called the Lacan Dictionary. This quote pretty much says it all. It's the book's mission statement, and it's a really powerful promise. The goal here isn't to dumb Lacan down, not at all. It's about making his super profound ideas accessible. It's about clearing away the obstacles so you can actually engage with the ideas themselves instead of just wrestling with the vocabulary. And this really breaks down why this is such a game changer. Think about the traditional way on the left. You spend hours fighting with these super dense texts. You fall down all these internet rabbit holes, and you still walk away feeling kind of unsure. But then look at the approach this dictionary takes. You get clearer definitions, everything's in one reliable place. It just lets you get to that deeper understanding so much faster. Okay, so that all sounds great, but talk is cheap, right? Let's actually put this dictionary to the test. Let's see how it handles some of Lacan's most important and, let's be honest, most difficult concepts. Let's see it in action. All right, first up, desire. Now, for Lacan, this isn't just, wanting a new phone or something. It's a huge fundamental concept, and the dictionary nails it, defining it as this unconscious force that comes from a feeling of lack. It's super clear, it's concise, and it gives you this really solid starting point. And here's what's so cool about how the book works. Right after that clear definition, bam, it hits you with a direct quote from Lacan himself. So it's not just telling you about the idea, it's connecting you right back to the source. It bridges that gap between understanding the concept and hearing it in Lacan's own words. Okay, let's try another big one, jouissance. This is a tough one because there's really no easy English translation. It's way more than just enjoyment or pleasure. And again, the dictionary does a great job. It explains it as this excessive kind of pleasure, one that's paradoxical because it's often tied up with suffering or breaking the rules. That really clarifies why it's a concept that goes way beyond just simple happy satisfaction. And there it is again. The definition is immediately backed up with this perfectly chosen quote straight from Lacan's seminars. So you can really see the pattern here, right? This book isn't just a list of definitions. It's actually creating a learning experience. It guides you from the simple explanation straight to Lacan's own voice. Let's do one more, the big other. Now, this isn't another person, like with a lowercase o. It's a huge structural idea. The dictionary defines it as the whole symbolic system around us. Language, social rules, all the cultural norms, the stuff that basically shapes who we are and what we want. It takes this really abstract idea and makes it feel much more concrete. And with this last quote, the whole method just clicks into place. The definition tells you what it is, and the quote shows you how Lacan himself talked about it. The other is the locus of symbolic authority. It's simple, it's powerful, and it just gives you so much insight. Okay, so we've seen the dictionary in action. Now let's kind of zoom out for a second. Let's talk about the 5 big reasons why this book is so empowering for anyone on this kind of intellectual journey. These are pulled right from the book's intro. So what you're looking at here is basically a complete toolkit. Number 1, it obviously deepens your understanding, pushing you way past just surface level stuff. 2, it's an absolutely essential academic tool, whether you're a student or a seasoned scholar. 3, and this one's huge for me, it just saves you so much time. No more endless searching. 4, it gets you ready to have much richer, more confident discussions about these ideas. And finally, number 5, once you start to unlock Lacan, it just broadens your entire intellectual horizons into philosophy, film studies, you name it.
And that brings us to the wrap-up. Look, if you've ever wanted to really, truly engage with Lacan's work, but felt kind of held back or intimidated by the language, consider this your formal invitation to finally start that journey. I love this quote from the author. It really sums it all up. This isn't just some dusty reference book that sits on your shelf. It's meant to be an active companion. It's a tool, a guide, and a partner that really makes the whole journey not just possible, but actually rewarding. So, at the end of the day, if any of this has sparked your curiosity, if you feel ready to stop feeling confounded and start being captivated, then the path to really understanding Lacan is, well, it's more accessible than ever. You can find the Lacan Dictionary using the link right there in the description. And we'll leave you with this final thought, one of Lacan's most famous and mind-bending ideas. What if the unconscious, that hidden, messy, chaotic part of us, is actually structured just like a language? It's a huge, profound question, and with the right guide in your hands, it's one you can finally start to explore for yourself.